morning.
Good afternoon.
Good night. We're here to talk about
Shit that
More
we
life.
aren't prepared for.
or that too. Oh.
Hi, everybody. I'm Britton.
I'm Kayla.
And this is Village Vibes Podcast.
It
and
certainly is.
Yes.
It takes a village.
It does. It does. And friend, we sound really good today. I
We
must say.
do.
It's
I'm feeling in better spirits.
listen,
I was.
praises be. Praises be.
Mhm.
Okay. We're back with another lovely episode. We're so happy to be back in the studio.
Yeah.
Really, digging the scene, digging on you. Digging on me, baby, ooh, baby. It's on
Oh my
like that.
God.
It's on like that.
You're so annoying.
I gotta realize it's on, and I am digging
we're,
the scene.
That was nice.
Yeah, it's a good intro. I have to say, Kay, happy belated birthday. I don't think the girls know that you're officially 30.
I feel like that's shady. The way
Why?
that you're looking at me and the way that you
No!
said. Anyway,
The
yes,
girls
I
don't
did.
know. You turned 30, you've officially dropped into,
Yeah. The
beginning
third
of the
decade
end.
of my
Like,
life. Yeah.
here we go.
That's what it feels like, honestly.
You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen this new All That. That's a thing?
Will you actually turn my headphones up?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can you turn me up? I can't hear myself.
Turn me up. All the way? No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
Can you turn my headphones up? I can't hear myself. I'm going to say, oh, that's interesting.
What?
I don't know. So.
I was more thinking about like when artists do it at the beginning of a song.
That's also what I was thinking about.
Okay.
I've heard Mary say it a number of times. I'm like, bitch, you need a hearing aid. How loud do you want it, sis?
Oh, that's not stylish. That's just hearing
Age.
loss. Okay.
Just degrading.
Wow.
Okay. So all that. I didn't know All That was back.
All that.
Is it with the original intro and everything with TLC?
No.
Oh.
I haven't watched it, but Her was on.
Okay. H.E.R.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And Kel is on the show.
Really?
Reprising. Is that the word I'm looking for?
Yes.
His role in Good Burger.
That is good.
So that's the segment that
because they paid him dust. Keenan went out here and went on SNL, and SNL. All that was basically Nickelodeon's SNL.
Yeah, it was like the kid version of SNL.
Absolutely, but not.
It's a variety
You go back
show.
to some of those episodes, and you're like, this was grown people shit. What were children doing looking at this?
I know there are a lot of cartoons like that.
Yeah, following Are You Afraid of the Dark, which is basically Nickelodeon's Tales from the Crypt. Just terrifying.
Oh my God, Tales of the Crypt was awful.
It was pretty.
I hated
terrifying.
that show.
Yeah, I had this moment this week where I was talking to somebody about like the shows that terrified us as kids, and you look back at it now, and you're like, what was I possibly thinking?
Okay,
like X-Files used to fuck me up.
Have I ever told you the story about I've never seen E.T. and I've never seen E.T. because E.T. scared the living bejesus out of me.
As it should. You know what else scared me? Cocoon. Do you remember that?
The hell is that?
The old people at the old folks' home
No.
and the alien life forms, and they were taking them up when they would die and stuff, and they would have a better life and go on.
No.
I don't know. The metaphors were all over the place, but Cocoon was scary.
Oh, okay.
Just like Willow was scary, which I've said before. Willow was very scary.
I don't like horror movies, but I like twist endings. So then I get conflicted, and I'll watch a horror movie if I know it's gonna have a big twist. Yeah, it's weird.
Okay, which speaking of, how about this Bae of the Week? Shall I go first or shall you go?
I only have one. How many do you have?
I have one which may filter off into many.
Okay, so then I'll say mine first.
Okay.
I'll make it short.
Okay.
Greta Thunberg is a 16-year-old from Sweden. She led the march along with other young people on climate change that happened recently, and then delivered a fucking zinger of a speech to the UN.
Ooh.
Not only that,
and a grin.
she gave
A grimace.
the nerdiest of looks to one Mr. 46, 45, 45, squeeze me.
The number we shall not mention.
And that'll live forever in meme culture.
Yeah.
And then proceeded to continue to troll him on her Instagram. He tweeted at her and said, "Wow, what a bright, shining, happy young woman headed for a bright future." Very sarcastically. So she decided to take that and put that in her Instagram bio. And it's like, what else can you ask for? And I know there's and I feel like this is worth mentioning. Brent and I had a conversation last night about praising white people for being a part of the conversation.
Right.
And really, like, it's not that revolutionary.
And how, in this case, not even an angry white woman could cause any change.
Right, exactly. However, I do like her. She's the fact that she's 16 and she's out doing this.
Yeah.
And at least in her speech, she didn't acknowledge race, but she did. And I think climate change is a race issue, as I think everything is a race issue.
Catch it.
Because it's true.
Facts.
I'm not making that shit up, okay?
Right.
I'm not playing a race card. It really affects everything. But she did mention in her speech, like, I'm one of the lucky ones. There are people literally dying every day. And of course, the people that she's talking about are the folks who are being affected the hardest, who are the poorest, most likely the brownest or the darkest.
Come on.
I mean, I appreciated what she did this week.
Yes, I did have a moment of squinty eye and just like, if this were a black woman, if this were a brown woman, this would not be received the same way. Right. Not at all. Mm-hmm. It would be much more aggressive in the response.
Yeah.
I will give her things though, because she took a cue from Fantasia and did that lip quiver a few times, and I was like, come on, lip quiver, how dare you quiver.
She really
How dare you quiver?
Well, she was. I mean, you could tell that she was
emotional,
fired up. Oh, yeah, and emotional. Yes.
How dare you put it on us young people? The nerve! I should be in school.
But the fact that she was saying "How dare you" to a room full of old ass politicians.
Yeah.
I mean,
and the girls were going up.
Respect.
Somebody was like, "Woo!" Yep. I was like, "That's
the crowd went crazy."
That's the one Negro that was invited to the conference. Okay.
Ow! I hit my headphone. Okay, so anyway, I would say she's my bae of this week.
Okay. My bae of the week is definitely, I have two now because this inspired something. My bae of the week is going to none other than, I don't know this man. I don't know if I'm going to sound ridiculous or if I'm going to sound crazy. If he was walking down the street, I just, sorry to this man. Listen.
Wouldn't know a thing.
Good old Auntie Keke Palmer. Oh my God, did she ever step through in that Vanity Fair interview?
Yeah.
I was living.
So funny.
And people have issues with her, and not issues, but like they think that she's a little overexcited, a little, too much.
Sure.
But this was spot on.
It will live forever.
I spent a good smooth 3 days just waking up to the cackling of like, sorry to this man, as she slid the photo of Dick Cheney away. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to sound ridiculous or if I'm going to sound crazy.
I don't know this man. I'm sorry to this man.
I just couldn't take. And the memes.
Oh my God.
When Sierra sees Future. I don't know if I'm going to sound ridiculous or if I'm going to sound crazy, but I'm sorry to this man. If he's walking down the street, I just wouldn't know a thing. That is going to be my new tagline. I don't know if I'm going to sound crazy or if I'm going to sound ridiculous.
Oh my God.
If I was walking down the street, I wouldn't know a thing.
It's such a good
Sorry
meme.
to this man.
Her reaction is so perfect. It's so funny.
It's just perfection. And I love seeing, major white publications putting this on display. I'm like, because now the girls are getting hip to the fact that like Black culture, brown culture, hood culture, all of that stuff is readily accessible. And the girls want to be like this. And they can't.
Yeah.
They can't. They could never.
They still try.
They do. The Kardashians still get away with, appropriating that and making millions.
Yeah.
And then
I mean, like, everybody
by
says...
the lawyer gods. And it's like, you can't do this.
Oh, my God. I fucking hate them. Anyway, point is...
Keke Palmer.
They still do... white people are... never mind.
Anyway.
I'm not ready for that.
I just live for Mother Keke Palmer. Auntie, you stormed through. My second bae of the week goes to Shite. I got so caught up in Keke Palmer that I have now forgotten my second
oh no
bae of the week. So, as I said, the last week, for some reason, has just been filled with a lot of drama for me. Mm-hmm. A lot of people have started arguments with me and started shit with me, and all in the great good of wanting to just do well by others. And I just don't understand where it's coming from. And all a bitch wanted to do last night, I got off of work late, and I came home. I just want to sit down and watch some TV.
Right.
So, shout out to coming home, breaking out the bag of chips, going and getting you a good old can of ginger ale, going and dropping off that Bacardi into that cup.
I was going to say, was it just ginger ale, Britton? Was it? Is that what it was?
And I got a chance to finally watch After Earth featuring Will Smith and his son, Jaden Smith, which,
And?
I understand why why that shit tanked, but I was just like here for it. I didn't understand the accents that they were giving me. I was like, what fucking accent is this? It's a mix of Philly and a mix of Nigeria. What is this?
I haven't seen it.
It was cute. Jaden's actually a very good actor.
Mm.
I will give him his things. I was like, that's
Okay.
good.
Mhm.
That's good. You know who else is stunning?
Who?
Fucking Zoe Kravitz.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
No, she's a brilliant actor.
Oh, yeah.
She's actually really good. I felt some kind of way in the X-Men movies, but like, I've been checking. Once you find something, you go on into the rabbit hole, and she's pretty stellar.
Mm-hmm.
You know who else I'm going to give their things? Who's the Bae of the Week? Motherfucking Zendaya.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Listen, I got on board when I saw Euphoria, but
Not before that.
no, she had one song with somebody with the TLC.
Okay, let me just be honest. When I say before that,
I'm not talking Disney.
I don't mean the work. I mean her. I mean,
No,
because she's been
it stepped
in the
up.
scene, but she's been
She's
like
got
a
Law
big deal
Roach
for a
as her
long
style.
time.
Her fashions have been stunning.
Yes, that is absolutely
And she's
true.
actually a brilliant actress, actor. And I'm just here for it. Yeah, so anywho, those are my bays of the week. And
Good bays.
everybody, you know what? I went to bed at 4 a.m. this morning because I was just like, Mama wants to watch TV.
Mm-hmm.
Put on the Apple TV, or my sister's Apple TV, shout out to you, and watched Second Act with Jennifer Lopez. Also, I can see the growth. Shout out to Jennifer Lopez at 50 doing what you young bitches wish you could do. Because she's stunning.
Storming.
She stormed on that updated version of that Grammy dress and killed that runway. I was like, ma'am.
It was stupid. And then she went out in a third outfit later that evening.
I just couldn't take. I was just like,
do you know that Google Images was created because of her? Because of that dress? Because people wanted to see the dress. So Google created images where you could Google images.
Wow.
Because of that.
And it's wild because
Crazy.
That dress now compared to that dress then, it looks very ill-fitted back then. But
it didn't matter.
It
didn't matter.
I like J-Lo because I think she clearly understood or had the right people on her side who were just like, the singing's cute, the acting's cute, the dancing's cute. The way you're going to parlay this is you have to keep this face together and this body together. We will put you in a cryogenic freeze every night.
Okay.
And that's how she did it. I mean, you just need 30%. And she's a triple threat in a 30% way of all the talents, which add up to 90%. And then that 10%. I am not denying. Mama has grown. She has done the work.
Oh, my God.
You see her live performances now. She's singing on key. She's hitting high notes. She's hitting every step at 50 years old. She's doing backflips. She's being picked up. I live.
She's worked hard for it.
She has worked hard.
She's done a lot of stuff.
100%. And that second act movie is good. She's cute. It's the usual. She's playing a white Italian woman, and I'm just like, yeah, okay, cool. Like,
well, we'll talk about this and what we learned. But I also saw a Jennifer Lopez movie this week. Last week.
And shout out to Milo Ventimiglia. That is a fine white man.
I do agree with that.
Wow.
Do you watch This Is Us?
I do. I haven't watched season that weird second half of season 2 that came out a year later and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I need to catch up.
I see. Okay. Oh,
but
yeah.
I am here, Milo. I was like, yeah, you could have these walls. Yeah.
I agree with that. I really like him. Apparently, he was in Gilmore Girls, which I never watched that show, but I guess he's been famous for a long time.
Yeah, he has. And
I didn't know who he was until that. This Is Us. And
just keep being fine. Oh no, I knew who he was before then because he had a few nude scenes in a few films. And I was like,
of course,
here for all of that.
Okay. Okay, so we'll be back with what we learned.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So I was just saying, I really don't like it when Britton says walls when he's talking about sexual things. Okay, here's another thing that I've discovered. This is what I learned this week. Are you ready? This is what I learned.
Okay.
What I learned was you literally sexualize everything. I mean, we could be walking down the street and there will be a squirrel, and somehow that will lead to some kind of highly sexualized comment. Or you'll you'll jump and land on your ankle funny, and somehow that will lead us into a sexual conversation. I understand. I understand.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. Is it is it that you're
I'm sexually oppressed.
okay? Is that all it is?
Yes.
Okay.
I think I spent a lot of time denying how sexually how much I desire the act of sexual
Sure.
engagement. It's a very intimate act. Part of me thinks it's a front, but the other part of me is just like, nah, mama, just every now and then you want to get your cheeks clapped. You know what I'm saying? And every
Sure.
now and then you want to clap some cheeks, you know? And that for me. Don't know about the rest of y'all, whatever y'all clap, lips, you know,
Okay.
whatever you want to clap.
You don't have to
Whatever you want to clap.
say
Pits,
it like that.
lips and pits, nostrils.
It
I don't
didn't
know.
have to even.
Sure. But see, this is what it happens. Well, you know, it goes back to the fact that I had my sexual peak at like high school, and then I hit college in upstate New York, and none of the white gays were checking for me then, so I didn't get laid at all. I had to go to New York dealing with somebody I dealt with from high school.
Well, the truth is, would you call that your sexual peak, or just you were having the most sex?
I was having the most sex then.
Okay, but was it like good sex?
My sex
know
is
what I'm
always good.
Oh my God, I roll. Fuck you. You know what the fuck I'm saying.
I'm just telling you.
Jesus
like,
Christ.
There's never a dull moment. I mean, I'm like Erykah Badu. I told you, golden boom boom, golden boom boom.
Okay. You know what? You ruined the question. I don't even remember what I was asking.
Okay, no, okay. But seriously, like, I've never been a person who has had much sex in their life. I never dated a lot. I never had any of those things, and I've always just wondered if something was wrong with me. You know, like seriously. And
wait, in that time though, were you like thinking about it a lot? Like
when I was very active?
No, when you weren't. Like further into adulthood. Like you just said, you know, you weren't dating a lot.
Absolutely. Okay. I mean, I wanted those things because everybody around me was hooking up. Everybody around me was getting dates, you know, and I was like, well, what's happening over here? Like,
right.
Do I smell bad? Is my breath bad? Am I too feminine? You know, you just go into every single corner of like, what could possibly be wrong with me? You know, which I think also contributes to my issues with my body, contributes to my issues with, you know, my person. I'm much more comfortable in my skin these days, you know, particularly.
Excuse me.
That was nice. And so, you know, I just want to really have that option.
Yeah.
Shit, I don't want to be. All I'm saying is, I want to experience love and good sex before the world cracks in half.
I understand.
That's all I want. Like, I swear I'm going to be the bitch that's like, it's going to be volcanoes erupting around me, and I'm going to be, who wants to put it in right now? Come get this bus.
I can see it.
You said something funny to me a few weeks ago where you were just like, you know, Britton, you say you're versatile, but you've been giving me really bottom vibes lately. Like, you've just been...
That is not what I said.
Getting your cheeks clapped.
That's no. Hold on. Wait a second. That is not how the conversation went, first of all. Okay. What was it? Oh, I think it's because you've just been so like, I don't know, horny, I suppose. And you are sexualizing everything. I mean, we cannot make it 5 minutes without you saying something sexual.
That's
like,
true.
oh, I let him hit. Whatever it is. I mean, there are just so many comments, y'all, you don't understand. And also, if you're listening and Britton has met you, you're probably not safe, just saying. Especially if you're a guy.
It's so funny because Young M.A just came out with her new album, and I was listening to it, and I was talking to Ruby, and I was just like, I think I need a stud. I was like, they seem to get it right. Like, yeah.
You want a person who's very masculine. Anyway, so the conversation was...
Okay, yes. Okay, moving forward.
The conversation was, you know, you had said something sexual. He could do whatever. I don't know, do something to your butthole or penis. Who knows? It was something on your body that they could do something to. And I said, it just, you talk this big game about how you're verse, but you really only sound like a bottom recently.
Well, I've been conditioned to be a bottom. Correct.
Whoa.
Correct.
Do you want to dive deeper into that?
Yeah, sure, that's fine. I mean, but that's the thing. Like coming from DC and then daddy issues and never having a male figure in my life and
Mm.
seeking those things out in sexual partners at a very young age and getting myself in situations that were quite scary, you know,
Mhm.
like, and that's what I realized very early. I realized it, but I wasn't able to call it out.
Mhm.
It's just that, like, I'm searching for a father figure and I'm searching for a comfort that
Mhm.
I probably am seeking from a father figure.
Mhm.
And I just didn't have that. So,
Mhm.
you know, you put that in with mix that in with a little gay boy who wants to dance and sing and be in these
I
theaters. And, you
see.
know, I'm just grateful
I see
that, like,
that.
it didn't get to a point where, you know, I couldn't get
Yeah.
myself out of a situation. There were a few scary
Mhm.
situations, as I've discussed before. So, you know, but at this point now, you know, I'm not opposed to anything. It's not about masculinity or none of that. If I'm feeling you, I'm feeling you, period. I don't care if you do drag. I don't care if
Oh, was that a thing before? Was that a thing at one time?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I don't, you know, unless if you're Lath Ashley, Lath, if you're hearing these words,
Oh.
I'm here. We'll figure it out. And I love you.
That They're not hearing these words. No offense.
So, yeah. And
Okay, I don't understand that culture. I think it's silly anyway that like that is something that people that straight people talk about. So like I feel like maybe I shouldn't.
no, you can
Talk about
absolutely
it.
talk about it because it lends itself to the conversation even with heterosexuals, like women
Mhm.
who criticize and judge men who have had experiences
Mhm.
not associated with women.
Mhm. Mhm.
But, you know, women get the pass to do whatever they want to do. But, like, with the second a man had an interaction with a man, oh, he's gay. I mean, we've had this discussion.
Yes.
So it's just a thing. I just think everybody should be allowed to explore and experiment and get a sense for what they like and what
That's
they
the
vibe with. And it
truth.
not be an
That
issue.
is the truth.
And it all harkens back once again
Ugh.
to good old imperialism, good old,
Colonialism,
all of that. I mean,
Catholicism.
come on. Catholicism, all of that. Correct. Yes. So what'd you learn this week, or should I go first?
You can go first. I
All
went
right.
first for Bay of the Week.
What I have learned is to be, like I said, I got gaslit a lot this week, these past few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I had a series of events that were just back to back and people just spewing things to me and coming at me and arguing with me for selfish reasons, for reasons that they just wanted to start shit. I'm content with the fact that, like, there are just miserable people out there who want to spread more misery, or are just not able to identify with anyone else or step out of their own selfish zone. Like, I've learned that not everyone is going to take the time to ask questions for why they're reacting the way that they're going to do, why they say things out of their stupid fucking mouths. You know, I don't know who the fuck you think you're talking to. You know, like, because I was with the shits. Like, I just had this moment this week where I was just like, I'm not going to let this slide anymore. I'm going to speak up for myself. You won't get a chance to speak to me like this ever again. And should things not end well, then that's just the way it's supposed to be. But you understand where I'm coming from now. You understand the boundary that I have set. Because I won't allow you to speak to me this way. I won't allow you to get away with antagonizing words or any of that. Like, I hate text message now. Because I'm just like, there's certain tones and certain things that, like, I guess I'm misinterpreting. You know, I'm tired of taking L's. I'm tired of reasoning with myself and saying to myself, like, where did I go wrong? Where did I turn left? And this spans over a week of conversations. Not one thing in particular. Just, you know, I'm with the shit. I'm with the shit. I'm getting older, and I cannot lay down anymore and let you stomp your feet on my back no more. I just won't.
Yeah, I agree. It's just like you said, I feel like I've been saying that, we both have been saying this for a long time, but like that, the idea of taking the loss, of like, you still lose out. It's just so hard because, like, even when you step into that space, so either you get walked over all over,
or you stand up and you get gaslit,
or you stand up, right? You get gaslit, or in the end, it never really matters.
Yeah, you're still taking an L.
And yeah, exactly. Because then you've got to. It's just I I understand the exhaustion that comes along with that. It's just also frustrating because we can only control what we can control.
Yes.
And it doesn't, if things that are outside of your control end up impacting you, and that just feels so unfair.
It does.
How do you just let those things go? Because I know that the response to that would be, well, you just have to let it go. Well, you can't put that much value in it and blah, blah,
right.
blah.
And you're stuck saying, well, why is that?
Right.
Because there are people who go along with life with this mentality and they're still just following the same patterns that they've been following for decades.
Right.
And I'm like, that's just not going to be me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to need you to hold yourself accountable. I'm going to need you to like step into the arena with me and work with me on resolving this. Like, I'm not trying to fight with you. I just want to get a sense for like, how do we move forward with this? How do we grow from this at this point? Because like, I can't sit here and bicker with you because at some point I'm going to say, I can't do this anymore.
Mm-hmm. Right, exactly.
If this is going to be the pattern.
Because that's the only option that we're left with. You won't recognize it, right? Like, you over here, you won't recognize it. You won't acknowledge it. You won't apologize for it, and you won't change it. But then you expect for me to stick around without you doing any of the things that I've said. And then I'm left to feel like a bitch. We're left to feel like the bad guy or the bad person because we've got to then, after begging for whatever it is that we've needed for however long, and they're still not meeting the need, then we have to be the ones to say, okay, deuces, bye. And we still end up being
feeling
the bad guy and feeling bad and feeling guilty. And
it's manipulative as fuck.
There's got to be a day. I just keep having this thought. I'm like, especially with the world ending and all of, whatever, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. I just keep thinking like, God, I hope and pray that there is a day that arrives where just a single day where that doesn't have to be the thing. Right? Like we don't even have to feel any of those bad things. And I know that those days happen. I'm grateful for the times that we can be in those spaces and feel that way. But I guess maybe when I say a day, what I really mean is like where it all actually legitimately goes away. Or at least we can be in a place where we don't have to think about it.
Or at least establishing boundaries from the get-go. I just think establishing boundaries or establishing like where we stand and what you expect from me, expectations, all of these things are vital to survival of relationships. Like, and that's the thing, people aren't having conversations. There are people who still don't want to step into that arena or are afraid or just are plain dumb and don't have access to tap into their emotional sensibilities. I'm just like, well, if you establish something with me from the get-go, I can receive that. I can keep that in my mental Rolodex so that when I approach certain things, I make sure I come forward with the good foot.
Mm-hmm. It's just too bad. It seems like such a simple solution to say, just establish boundaries, have conversations with me, open that up. There are just people who don't know how to do that. And also, like, you can't establish boundaries if you don't even recognize what your own needs are. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are really out here living whole ass lives, not ever actually analyzing and breaking down and trying their best to understand and or change and grow what it is that they need to be fulfilled. A lot of people aren't actually fulfilled. A lot of people are just moving through life, right? And so when you have a person who's moving through life and a person who understands and is chasing fulfillment and you butt heads, you're coming at it from two entirely different perspectives in such a way that like it never works out on our side. It never works out in our favor.
Feels that way.
Like.
And if it sounds like it's just the two of us agreeing and all that stuff, everybody, the truth of the matter is like we're at least fucking having the conversation because there's motherfuckers out here who don't talk.
Yeah.
If you feel some kind of way, say something.
Right. And it's so interesting to find out as you grow older and become an adult, how many people don't know how to actually engage in real conversation.
Say it again.
And not even consider what it looks like to contribute to a conversation. We can have a conversation because we each have a perspective and we both reveal things and uncover things and get to things or whatever.
Right.
But that's not I think it's becoming more of a norm, but it's certainly not.
Yeah.
most people.
It's feeling so too little too late. I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
well, the world's ending. So, I mean, girls, like, what do you want to do? Like,
Yeah, I'm like, there's stuff on
here's,
fire.
here's
I
what
gotta
the, here's
go.
what the, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go because like, I'm not going to, we're not in this age of anymore. And that's the thing. There's that shift is happening where
Mhm.
that mindset in particular for who's like nurturer and who's provider and that caveman mentality, that's all disappearing and great integrating into one another and it's just showing its face in different ways. I mean, you see it in politics and how like people are losing power and they don't know how to fucking like control themselves. They
Right.
want to incite violence and stuff to keep this shit going,
Mhm.
and it's not the way that it's gonna move. Like
Mhm.
I don't know. I really just hope it's not too late. And my hope is that one day I can establish relationships that follow the mold of w- conversation and engaging and just expressing positively and expressing it even if it's not positive, effectively.
Mhm.
Something that makes sense because I also understand that people have different languages and people grow up with certain um, ways of communicating.
Mhm.
And so, if you what I've had to do is put myself in a position of saying, okay, this person wrote this to me or said this to me. It's pop off time.
Mhm. Mhm.
You're with the shits. You're ready to go blow to blow.
Right.
But maybe that's just the way that they've been brought up.
Mhm.
So then here I am saying, let me be the one to start this conversation. So I received your message this way. How am I to interpret that tone? Because before I feel like we're about to be on the block, let me know what you meant by this.
But
Because
it's just not fair that
it's
like
not.
that's how you have to approach it and that's not how they approach it.
Right.
Right?
It's
Like
not.
that you think of everything and that you consider all of the reactions and that you're making moves based on their moves when you approach them, but they don't give you that same respect. It's so angering. It's so frustrating because you really, again, you feel like you have to take the loss. Not only was I hurt and impacted by what you did, now I have to explain that hurt and impact only for you to not actually really take responsibility for it and probably not change it. Why do we have to be put in that position? Why? Okay?
Whoa.
Why?
Wow, that one came through my headphones.
I'm sure that
my cerebral
I'm
cortex
positive
is
that maybe
definitely vibrating.
that will piss all 6 people off who listen to the show.
Yeah, I don't. But hey, listen, it's our show, so kick rocks.
Thank you.
Fuck that.
Thanks for defending me.
Yeah, of course.
I get it. I think there are quite a few folks who understand
Yeah.
that feeling.
Also, again, I just want to do this thing where I just want to have Service Worker Appreciation Week. Y'all, please respect the people who are serving you.
Mm-hmm.
Please recognize that these are also people. I've said this a number of times.
Mm-hmm.
Please don't roll up into a restaurant with your privilege
Oh.
and with thinking that these are the people who are serving you food.
Mm-hmm.
Do not be disrespectful. Learn how to look people in the eye. Say thank you. Be appreciative. Tip well. Period. Like, I say thank you. I appreciate you. I don't care if you say it every time that they come by your goddamn table. Do it.
Isn't that wild that like people don't?
May I please is easy to utter those 3 little words before you make a request.
Mm-hmm.
Can I trouble you for an extra packet of soy sauce and a little extra rice? I'll pay it if I need to.
Oh my God.
Listen, I pulled up at the Panda a few weeks ago, honey, and you know, the doll put like, I asked for black pepper chicken. No, broccoli beef.
Oh, what did I say? Didn't I say it last night? What did I say?
I asked for broccoli beef, and sometimes they don't look, and then you just get 1 spoon. If you, I've found when I'm really nice, they'll give you a few extra scoops. I bank on that shit. You know what I'm saying? And so, oh boy had put it on my plate, and I started to be like, and I took my plate and I said, "Thank you very much, appreciate it." Looked at my plate, it was all broccoli, and I was like, "Hey, I don't want to be a problem, but there's only 1.5 pieces of beef in here. Can I get you to just actually look at the scoop real quick?"
We distribute.
Like,
Sure. reallocate, please?
I know, like I went to Panda yesterday, and it was a good plate.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You went to Panda and Cheyenne yesterday?
Yes.
You had Chinese food twice?
Yes. Now leave me be.
Oh no, I'm not. Okay. Let me rewind. I'm not trying to be judgmental of your food choices. I'm more asking, like, I'm surprised that you would have the same genre of food twice.
They are two totally different restaurants with two totally different experiences. One I can get plum wine at, and one I cannot.
One you can get a Sprite.
One I can get a Fanta, a strawberry Fanta, and one I can get a plum wine. Okay.
Okay.
Kitty cat. Gonna put this ass on.
Okay. Did you learn anything else?
Patience is key. I have to say on this, and the reveal has come. It's coming. There's going to be a deeper reveal.
Okay,
soon.
yeah. So you mean patience for like good things, putting in work.
Patience.
Okay.
When you're on a journey, if it's weight loss, if it's wanting to get in shape, it's gonna take time, y'all.
Got it. Because I heard patience, and I was like, nope, don't have any. I don't find that important at all. But in that context,
I'm in the zone now. My body is coming back like the way that I wanted it to. I feel healthy the way that I've done it. I've done a lot of. You have to do experimenting. You got to see what works for you. I encourage you all to just everything has just kind of integrated into one: journal writing, working out, having a routine set in place. Positive thinking, and it is hard. It's not easy. It's not easy by any means, but you have the capability to do it if that's what you want to do. Yep. Quick fixes are not a real thing.
I'm excited for the day, hopefully in the near future, where I feel better about my body and good in my body, and I just don't have the energy for that.
But part of that is also recognizing where things are not contributing to your life in a positive manner.
Yes, I know. I just popped a massive cyst on my face, and I was like, "Where
you told
is
me about
coming
this,
from?"
and I just sent a barrage of just like woes. I was like, I can't.
It wasn't. It was actually pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. It's been infected for a while, and I haven't been able to drain it. And so today, I finally was able to drain it.
So you said that was a cyst. In my mind, I saw this big glob of just goo on the side of your face for some reason.
Well, I mean, it wasn't good. I squeezed it just right. I don't know what happened, and it just went. No, it was like
it was a splat.
I didn't even see it happen. It was like I felt something, and then I looked at the mirror, and it was like.
Whoa. It was like that relieving felt something though, right? Like something emptied.
Yes. Well, I could hear it empty too.
Oh Jesus Christ! Like chunks were coming through the gaping hole. Okay,
my point with this is that I was in the mirror, and my skin has just been so bad these last few days, and I'm like, fuck, what am I doing differently? I did get a new bronzer. That's probably part of it.
Yeah, stress doesn't help either.
I was like, I've just been, and then this morning after I drained that, I'm really, pray for me, y'all. I really hope it goes away. I put some Neosporin on it.
I thought that was a mole.
You did?
Yeah, one of those like opaque moles.
Oh, that's good. Opaque moles, Britain. What the fuck is that?
It's clear. It matches the same skin tone. It's like a mole.
You mean a flesh-colored mole?
That's the one. That's the one. That's the one.
Not good. Does it look like there's hair on it?
No.
Am I gonna change the angle? Okay. Anyway. Yeah, I was like, holy shit, something's happening with my hormones or something. And then I was like, oh, bitch, you're stressed as fuck. And you've been putting nothing but garbage into your body for the last 4 weeks. Nothing but garbage.
That's okay. You're aware of it.
I was vegan yesterday. No, I wasn't actually. Fuck. Anyway, yeah, it's been quite the journey. But I really just have nothing really to offer anybody these days. I just feel I'm getting a crash course in energy acknowledgement, maybe. Just realizing what happens and how I react and how I retract when I feel like I've been drained, and what I'm really trying to figure out
when you've been stolen from. Let's call it what it is.
Well, I mean, I'm not disagreeing with that, you know what I mean? But anyway, I'm having such a hard time figuring out how to fulfill that energy. I mean, okay, I'm not really in a space right now where I feel like I can successfully fulfill my energy, like refill myself. You know what I'm saying? But having to find that in the little pockets that I can has been, man, this is the patience that you were talking about. It just feels like so much work. And all I want to do is sleep.
Listen, sleep is good.
I'm like, let me lay in bed.
Sleep is good, and that's fine. Here's where I would offer a little bit of remedy. Like, when you can, recognize the areas where you are making steps. You know what I'm saying? Like,
for sure.
Like, when you know, like I came through yesterday to kick it with you. That was important to me because you know I just want to make sure your spirits are up. We went to the bounce house. Shout out to the bounce house.
The bounce house was real fun.
God, that was a great day. But I had no idea that was going to be the workout that it was.
No.
But like little pieces like that kind of show up for you. Because it's like, you know, we know it's so easy to dwell into that negative space. And it's a very real thing. I'm not negating any of what you're saying. But wherever you can find that little piece of something that can keep you going, if you don't have something like consistency, like I will say for me, like committing to working out and committing to being mindful of my nutrition and sticking with that helped so much. So wherever you can, and writing in a journal and starting each journal before I, let's say, talk shit about every single person in my life. I start with 3 things that I'm grateful for. You know, like wherever you can find that space or whatever that looks like for you. If it's a walk in the morning, if it's a cry in the car, you know.
And I feel like I those are the only moments that I get, right? Like, which is why I wanted to go to the bounce house, which is why sometimes I'll just leave and drive, or I'll take my time, like coming back from work, or I'll just sit at my desk for 5 minutes with my eyes closed.
And that's a thing.
And those are real things. It just is hard when the things that are happening outside of those little pockets, when the majority of the rest of your life is just a fucking vacuum.
Yeah.
So anyway, I feel like I will fully admit last week's episode when we had Farron Doss on it was really hard for me to sit in a studio and talk on a mic. I mean, it's not like I was nervous or anything like that. Like, I'm used to this, but I was like genuinely sitting at the table like I have nothing to give. I don't care to say anything. I don't care to share anything. I don't care to talk about anything, discuss anything. I just was in such a shitty space. So anyway, I am learning how to try to fulfill myself, but also on another note, trying to figure out, like, I'm also learning how to let stuff go that I cannot control. How do I like not get caught up in pockets of like what feels like eternal anger and bitterness and all of that.
That's the work.
That is the work.
What you're doing right now is the work.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not going to happen. I've come to grips with the fact that these things aren't going to happen overnight, but like the fact that you have the awareness around it and are asking the questions.
Right.
That is major.
Right.
You know, like, I want to let this go. That's the fucking start. Like, I want to be able to let this go.
Yes. And I've been actively, consciously practicing that. Like, oh, okay. Like, trying to acknowledge, at least outwardly to myself, oh, there's nothing I can do about that. I am going to have to let that go. But the process of that has been a learning curve.
Arduous.
Because it's not,
Arduous.
Wow. That's cute.
You're welcome.
You got a word of the day app. Who'd you learn that from?
Me, myself, and I, Beyonce in retrograde.
Anyway, I also learned that New York just banned students, like school age students, from enrolling into school that don't have vaccinations. And I feel like that's a big deal because I'm not sure how many other places. Maybe I sound ignorant. Maybe there are a lot of places that do that. But anyway, I've just been thinking a lot about vaccinations and anti-vaxxers and such because I think I talked about this last week. I got the shots on my arm. And I was like really upset about it because my arm was hurting, and I was like, that's fucking crazy that this shit lasts for 2 years and it's running all through my body, I had a couple moments and I was like, bitch.
Yeah, it's like fluoride toothpaste.
You're not an anti-vaxxer.
It's a government-controlled substance controlling you.
But
like, I think the fluoride lately is helping me keep my workout schedule, going. I'm like, you won't get me. I'm gonna go work out.
I thought I'm confused.
It makes you a dud.
Makes you like careless.
Right. And I said I'm gonna go against the grain. I'm
Mm.
stronger than the fluoride.
Oh my God. All right. When you get cancer, bitch.
Well,
which is coming for all of us. I
Sure
know.
it is. Absolutely.
Well, end it like we always do. The world is ending.
On a high note. Hey, a high C. Okay? A high C.
Cherry cola.
Fruit punch.
Mmm.
Oh, do you remember the high C's? It was like the Slimer from Ghostbusters. It was called Ecto Orange or something like that. Do you remember that?
Tell me what decade that was.
Did you have Mondos in your era?
No, what are Mondos?
The Mondo juices?
I don't know what that is.
You had Capri Suns though, right?
Mm,
Did you have Sips?
the Kool-Aid Jammers.
SSIPS?
Yes.
Oh yeah, the Kool-Aid Jammers were dope.
Yeah.
When
What
you-
were the ones with like they were like a lined top and you twisted them off. It was like the originals. Squeeze-Its.
Squeeze-Its. When you think back to how much plastic you've used in your life
And how much
up
bullshit
until
you've
now,
consumed.
Gee to the Zus.
It's really incredible.
I'm just like, wow, I've been contributing to this since I was born.
Mm-hmm.
My God.
Yeah, there are a lot of weird things that we do as humans. Like the things that we consume and the way that our digestive systems now, I'm sure, have evolved because of all the bullshit that we've been putting into our bodies. Or not evolved, which is why people are dying. I don't know.
Right. That's why I do intermittent fasting.
Oh my God, whatever. But also like thinking about how sanitized we are as a species and like how we have to clean everything and I don't know anyway.
Listen, when I watched
Shit
After
like
Earth
that.
last night and they said that Earth was a quarantine one, like low spot and you were never to go there because everything has evolved to kill humans, I was just like, oh, this is just what Earth would be if we weren't here.
Yes. Correct.
Just plush full of life.
Mm-hmm.
Just green. Living great. My goodness.
It is
All right, well.
really incredible. Humans are just a big anomaly of a species. I hope to goodness that once we're gone, nothing else does that ever again. No species ever does what we did ever again.
Wow.
I hope not.
We'll see.
Dolphins, maybe. They're smart as shit.
Mm-hmm.
Fish, in general. Pretty smart.
Oh, good old dolphins.
I really want to meet a dolphin one day.
I want to meet one, but not in captivity.
No. That's why I said I really want to meet a dolphin one day.
Like one that's doing well. That's not like controlled.
Yeah, I want to be like out on the ocean. Oh, look, there's a dolphin. Cool. That's how I want to meet my dolphin.
I heard dolphins can be pretty aggressive too, though.
I've heard that too.
I heard they can take you down, sweetie. If they want to drown you, they can.
Mm-hmm. Killer whales will do the same thing. But in general, they're like generally not threatening to humans.
Right.
It's when you piss them off.
Yeah. Or that aftercurrent when they make that dive. Sorry, sis.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
sorry
you're
to this
probably
man.
not gonna.
I don't know if I'm going to sound ridiculous or if I'm going to sound crazy.
I was waiting for when that was going to make a reappearance. Okay, y'all. We have a really, really, really. Are you all done with what you learned? I'm sorry. Did you want to talk about
Anything else? No. Shout out to making friends who get it.
Mm-hmm. Preach. I like that one.
I've recently made a really cool friend, and it's just nice to meet somebody who also a black gay man who is not from here, and we just speak the same language, and there's nothing else to it, and we just get each other. It isn't one of those like, well, you're black and I'm black and you're gay and I'm gay kind of things. We literally understand each other, and I'm so grateful for this friendship because sometimes Portland sucks, and sometimes Portland is just not for me socially, and that's just what it is. In a number of ways.
Yep.
In a number of ways.
Yep.
Nobody's checking for black gay men here. Period. I'm gonna say it. I say it again. I say it. I say it every time. Every time. You're not checking for black gay men here unless they what's the word? Assimilate. And we know who that is. So
Yeah.
anyway, we're going to go on to the next section of the show.
Yeah.
Tuning in, signing off, because
Logging out.
sure, it takes a village.
I knew you were gonna say it like that.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
You know me so well, friend. Can we just talk about our friendship again? We need a friendship appreciation episode one more time.
Have we had one of those?
Yeah.
You say that like we've had one before.
Well, we have. We've definitely done. Sis, I know we've done a lot of episodes, but we've had a friendship appreciation one where we've praised
not
each
like
other
to the
and been
whole thing.
grateful.
Well, yeah, I mean, like there have been I don't know how many weeks where you're my babe of the week.
I'm just grateful. All right, I'm just grateful for that our relationship is standing the test of time, and that we are really providing an example of what a working, positive, communicative,
Friendship
sharing, loving friendship is.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's hard for us to say we love each other, but we do. You know,
that's not true. I tell you every
That's true,
time I
that's
get
true.
off the phone with you, I say I love you.
You do say that now. You do say that. I'd be
you
like, okay.
usually don't. Yeah. That's the truth.
It's like, okay, it's like my weird way of saying it back is your side hug to me. Think about it that way.
Okay, but the only reason
like I give
why
you full on hugs and you give me side hugs. You say I love you and I'd be like, all right, girl, see you tomorrow. Kisses.
No, you've changed it recently.
I have.
You'll say
I
it
have.
back. But I mean, yes, it is interesting because I've had friends. My friends will say things to me about like our friendship and stuff. But I've been suggesting like we should do an episode that's just us where we interview each other. That would be funny.
I thought we did that already.
We haven't
definitely
done that.
have done that.
No,
Okay.
we have not.
Well,
Go back. I know that we
I'm-
have
you know I'm not
fucking
going
a lot of
back.
episodes,
Not doing
but
that.
there is not an episode where we've legit like had questions for each
That's
other.
true. I feel like we have though. I think we've
You've done
definitely
that where you've come with like weird interview questions and you're like, I wanted to ask you if you were a
Okay.
cereal, what would you be?
Okay, that was shade. I will say this, and this was something I spoke with my family about this morning because my dog Free was on my lap,
Mm-hmm.
and I was talking about how much I hate being away from her for
Mhm.
long periods of time because now my work schedule is just it varies and it's different, and I'm gone away for most of the day. And I was just like, I really look forward to seeing her. Like, she really, really, really makes me happy. Like, I legit love this dog. And it's always been hard for me to say that because I've been so guarded in my life. Like, I've been so guarded. Like, and
But-
I not denied, but just suppressed those feelings of wanting to acknowledge how I really care for somebody because of the fear of thinking that I'm going to be hurt or mistreated or
Mhm.
disrespected.
Mhm.
And I'm okay with being in that place now of saying, I love you. Like, I'm okay with saying, I've missed you, and I'm acting out in this way because I wish I could have done better by you, and I wish I could have figured it out, and I wish because I love you,
Mhm.
and you matter to me, and I wish I could figure out a way to get back to at least a friendship or something like that. For example.
What? Oh, okay. I see. But I will say
For example.
like,
For example.
for example.
Poor Himplo.
I was like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I'm just saying I'm okay with being able to say like I love things and genuinely let it come out of me without me feeling awkward or hesitant or
Corny.
yeah.
I feel like that is the energy that you give well, not so much anymore, but like, you're breaking down those barriers, which is that hashtag growth. You know what I mean? But it always felt like even if I say something that's like just a little too sweet, you're like, oh my God, you're so corny. Like you are.
Yeah.
You'll like.
I'm like, don't be weird. Step away from me. You're too close.
Yeah. You do that. Yeah.
Like, oh, that's
It
nice.
does make
I'll
you
give
feel
like a
uncomfortable.
light pat on your back. I'll be like, oh, that's,
Yeah. Or if I say
cool.
something nice to you, you go, "Aww."
Okay. Anywho, so yeah.
Yeah.
I love things for real.
Yeah. Let's do an episode. We'll find a time. I think it'll be really funny where we like have legitimately like interview questions. So tell me about yourself. What do you
We
do?
have
Where do you
done
come
this.
from?
I'm telling you, we have done this.
We
I
have
guarantee-
not done that.
Oh my God! You're talking
Tell me
to,
when.
to me.
Which studio?
I don't remember, but we have done that.
No, we haven't.
Yes, it was very early on in the podcast. Very early on. I promise you, it's out there. I cannot tell you what episode it is.
But it'd be funnier if we did it now.
Fine.
Now that we're better
okay,
at this.
let's have a part 2.
There's not a part 1.
Yes, there is,
No-
homie.
oh my God.
Bruh. All right.
We'll be back.
Are you done?
Yes. Yeah.